We begin our media scrums today with the swimming program. Head coach Mickey Wender, Andrew Scoggin, and Agata Naskaret. Coach, a new season upon us this weekend with the Intermountain Shootout. How was the summer recruiting and the season training gone for you in the program?
I'm very pleased with where we're at, especially this last 5 or 6 days. We've certainly turned the corner. We're week 6 of our season. We start with a 4-week aerobic phase and then adapted into a power phase that started yesterday. And in the last several days, you could see a marked increase in intensity and performance. This morning, we did a set where Andrew, we did a 3,000-yard backstroke threshold set, and he went 52.8 on the 3,000th yard of it. And Agata, even though I gave her a little bit extra rest before the last one, went 57.500 back in practice. That is extraordinary. And so we need to have a different approach this year. It's going to be a lot more team depth focused as opposed to trying to maximize our points. As you know, on the men's side we lost Ben Sampson, and on the women's side we lost Benny Nagy and Lauren White. And I really feel that this year's team has adapted a new mindset, that they understand for us to be as competitive as we've been nationally, everybody needs to step up. And we're going hunting for points. And, 11th place, I think, we're going to have a bunch of those this year. And if we get enough of them, we can be very successful. So I like where we're at.
This week, you begin the season at home in the comforts of the El Pomar Auditorium. BYU, Utah, and CSU Pueblo coming in. What does it kind of mean to the program to be able to start against a conference school and a couple of Big 12 conference foes as well?
We just want to see where we're at. I don't have a lot of expectation as far as wins and losses on the day for each team. I think we're going to learn a lot in terms of wins and losses in close races up and down the lineup and every heat. One of the things we need to get a little better at is winning close races and learning how to be great in Indianapolis that third week of March. And that starts this weekend. And, BYU, Utah have some good swimmers. We're going to give them everything they can handle. And we're going to just start that process of learning how to compete to the best of our ability up and down and across the lineup. That's been our mantra this year. It's about depth.
Andrew, a senior on the team captain now. Coach mentioned Ben. You got to spend a lot of time with him over the years and training with him, and including going into the trials. What kind of did you gain from that experience, being at the trials and being around such a good person, and how do you kind of take that into leadership this year?
Yeah, when I first got here with Ben, I kind of threw myself with him and kind of just hung out with him. And he was kind of my role model while I was here and kind of did everything he did, which helped me out a lot later in the seasons because his goal was always NCAAs. So that's kind of what I made my goal immediately. And then going to trials, it's definitely an eye-opener because you have to be pretty fast to get there, but then there's a lot of people still faster than you. So you realize still how much more work you have to go to get really to the next level. So it was a big eye-opener for me just seeing how fast a lot of these people are. And I can say I competed with them, and we're going to keep going. So
Agata, last year we talked throughout the season. You were kind of new to the college scene, the team atmosphere of it. Now that you've had a year of that and quite a bit of success, including your national titles, what did you learn from year one that kind of transpires or you can use this year for yourself and leading the team as well?
Yeah, my freshman year was definitely something. I think coach will gonna agree with me that I definitely changed my whole approach to this program, and like as the new season is coming right now, and we kind of finding ourselves in the middle of it. I think that I changed like my whole mindset, because like obviously the European swimming is basically very individual, and here mostly it's about the team. So for me, now as you said about the leadership, like I want to lead the team towards winning nationals, and looking at myself also to just get more and just one more as a teammate, and as just like individual.
Say, obviously, like you said, you lost three big name swimmers that have been here a long time, and this is for everybody. How do you kind of balance you're hunting for points, you're going with depth, but somebody without putting too much pressure? You don't have to be Ben, but you need to be you, and somebody's got to pick up the points. How do you kind of approach that, and how do the swimmers approach replacing those?
We don't really talk about points the way we are right now. We don't really ever talk about winning, other than how are we going to win today? How is everybody going to get a little bit better and put us in a position to be as successful as we can be, in Indian March? And so very little discussion about NCAAs, about anything other than who's up next, and how is each person putting themselves in a position to add value, to qualify hopefully in November, and to get us where we need to be by March. And so it's more, Patty, just a conversation each day. All right, how we can get better today. And the thing that we do incredibly well is we push and challenge and compete in practice at a very high level. And that's something that for our women last year, and Andrew alluded to it, the way he chased Ben Sampson up and down that pool. But those women last year, they had this ability to make the main thing every day. And they were fiercely competitive in practice, loving, supportive, but assassins, like trying to and when a rising tide raises all ships, and when everybody is sort of moving faster, literally and figuratively, great things happen. And so that's what we focus on. We focus on the environment each day and the process of trying to get better.
Last year it was pretty easy to rely on those top end points. So I would say a lot of people got kind of complacent when we'd head to meets, because it would be like, oh, this person's going to win this race, so I don't have to try as hard. So that's one of my goal as a captain, is getting the collective to realize like we need each and every person to score, because each point is going to matter at the end, rather than we're going to be winning this amount of races. So I've been trying to like instill in a lot of the men's heads that like everyone matters, and we're going to have to use each and every person, and you're going to have to step up. And we're going to use this weekend as like seeing who's really going to be that person to step up, because I mean, the Big 12, they got some fast people over there. So we'll see who steps up. Be fun.
So we coach talked about the women and your competitive nature and all. And sometimes, a women's team can be incredibly competitive and not get along. How do you guys understand that? Yeah, I want to dunk her in the pool, but she's still going to be my friend and my teammate.
I can give like a perfect example of it actually, because when I first came here to CMU my freshman year, Lauren White was obviously a backstroker too. Definitely, we were competing in the water. Every time she was sometimes yelling at me, I was sometimes yelling at her. But after, like, when we were just outside of the pool, we going to the dinners, she was helping with my groceries and everything else. So I don't know how that works, but somehow we just coexist with each other. Even though we just, like, see each other as a kind of threat. But outside of the water, like, we are a supportive team of amazing women, and I cannot just like ask for more. They're very, very supportive. And I don't know, like it's just supportive, like the only thing that comes to my mind right now.
I'll just add, because I think, especially in coaching young women, that we talk a lot. We talk about our feelings. We talk about things that are happening inside the program. We talk about expectations, and it sometimes is annoying to them that I refuse to ever brush anything under the rug. So we have hard conversations, and I know that cliche, like the team is a family. I have 4 children that I've raised. I'm one of 4 children. And the one thing I know about families, I've been married almost 30 years. It's not easy to be part of a family. It requires a lot of work. And so if we're going to say we're a family, that means we're not going to get along all the time, and we're not going to like each other all the time, but we're committed to doing the work and talking things through. And we're fortunate that I think we share some common values within the program. Everybody is incredibly ambitious, right? They all want to see how good they can be as an athlete. Everybody understands and values team, and wants to be part of something larger than themselves and take care of each other. And they're tough. And that's, you do something long enough and you realize I need ambitious, team-oriented, tough people in my program. And so they all share that. And I think that creates sort of a common bond, and they're willing to talk about hard things.
Question of the week. Something a little off the wall. Other than your own sport, other than swimming, your favorite sport and why?
I would say biking. I don't know why. I just love biking. That's it.
Mine would definitely be golf. I golfed in high school. I loved it growing up. I love watching it. Might be a little boring, but it's something you can do forever, and it's fun. Love golf.
That's a tough one. I mean, to do snowboarding and mountain biking, I get to do that a lot. It's one of the reasons why we came here. To watch, I'm going to say college football and NHL hockey.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, you